suggestion. Pull up a chair, relax, and have some fun, because this is going to be a while as well. Andre Agassi won the first set pretty easily. Escude only held his serve once in that first set, but since then, Agassi has made it a little tougher for himself, and Escude is making something of a comeback here in the second, Patrick.
Well, we thought that Agassi would be tested in his second round against young Tyke Lee, and of course he won 18 straight games. It looked like that was going to continue in the first set against Nicolas Escude. Escude is a very talented player. He's a good serve volley in the first set. Escude got off to a decent start. In fact, there was a break by each player in the early stages of the first set. I mean, this guy's a shot maker. Big backhand, rip it there. But then it was all Agassi. Agassi serving beautifully. He makes a forehand error there, but he started to get the game going. There's a double fault, a couple of bad calls against Nicolas Escude. So Agassi wins it 6-2. But now it's Escude who's up in the second set, 4-1, just breaking Agassi in Agassi's last service game.
So this is Agassi about to serve here. He played brilliantly in his last match, losing only one game to young Tyke Lee, who had come off a win in Sydney. It was a heck of an effort, and for all the world, it looked like Agassi could roll all the way in this championship. He is now, though, and the reason I'm suggesting you just relax for a while is that this match looks like it's going to last a while. In the latter stages of that first set, Escude started to make it be known to Agassi that he was going to attack his second serve, and it worked, actually.
Well, that's a big key to this match. Is Escude, he's 26. He really should be ranked higher than 37, and I think he's underachieved with the talent, the game that he has. He's done well in Australia before he reached the semis here in '98. He helped Australia win the Davis Cup on this very court. Of course, it was a different type of green court. It was grass that they put down for the Davis Cup final.
1-4, second set, 15-love. Agassi serving. First set, Agassi easily.
Typical sort of Escude score lines. I mean, winning sets quickly, but also losing them. He's a streaky player. Motomura from Japan. Rokas, one of the Belgian brothers. But this is what this guy can do. I mean, he can jump on you quickly. Agassi had a bit of a scratchy first set against Brian Vahaley, the American, but then Cruz and then Lee. I mean, that was just dominating from Agassi. But now he's in a match, and he knows it.
Last year, Agassi was a two-time defending champion, so he has not lost a match on this court in a long time.
Guys have played 5 times, the last one coming at Wimbledon. And if my memory serves me right, I think that was a quarterfinal, Agassi Escude.
It was a quarterfinal, and you said that was 2 years ago.
40-15.
Quarterfinal at the '99 US Open as well. Here is the winner from Agassi in front in this game.
Well, you know, and that tells you something about Escude, Cliff, that the guys, you know, he's a big match player. He plays well in the slams. Obviously in Davis Cup when the French won it in 2001, and I don't think he lost a singles match the whole year in Davis Cup play. Where he has trouble, the Frenchman, is sort of the week in, week out grind, because he loses interest at times.
But this is a big occasion for him.
Yeah, this is big, and Laver Arena, Agassi, obviously one of the favorites here, along, I think, with Leighton Hewitt, are the 2 clear-cut favorites in the men's side.
4-2.
Oh, that's just solid stuff there from the Frenchman.
Patrick, tell that Davis Cup story in a little more detail, because it really was a huge achievement and triumph for Escude.
Well, it sure was. I mean, he won 2 singles matches. As you see, a beautifully constructed point here from the Frenchman. Look how well he gets down to that volley. He beat Leighton Hewitt in 4 sets on the opening day. As you see again, that picture-perfect technique. And then the last day, he clinched the entire tie in the final against Australia, against Wayne Arthurs. Differential. Escude with a more firepower.
Arthurs had replaced an injured Patrick Rafter, who, by the way, if you have just joined our coverage, has decided that he's going to permanently call it quits. He's gone from tennis. It's a shame. 30-love.
Well, Escude's pumped up his first serve percentage, Cliff, in the second set. It was way down around 40% for the first set, and that really hurt him. But he's winning some cheap points with that first serve, and that's putting pressure on Agassi. I mean, the way Andre Agassi's hitting the ball now, Cliff, you have to have a weapon. You have to be able to do something to disrupt the rhythm and the ball striking ability of Agassi. Young Taik Lee could not do that despite being, you know, a solid all-around player. Escude, on the other hand, has the firepower. He has the weapons with the serve, with the movement. He can hit winners from both sides. He can come in and volley well.
Yeah, just a slip of a guy, isn't he? Looking tall, thin. I mean, if there was a huge Melbourne breeze, he'd blow away.
There will be soon.
Not often that he looks totally out of balance like that. Not often.
Well, Agassi will try to wear him down physically, mentally. He'll try to. He's taken a little bit off that first serve and gotten a high percentage of first serves in. He wants to keep the points as long as possible. He does not want bang-bang tennis against Escude. Big point here now at 4-2, second set, 30 all.
Game point, Escude, let's mention again, third round, last year's event, 5 sets. It took Pete Sampras, the number 8 seed, to beat him. He has another look on the line. So a bad call. Agassi, I guess, fortunately doesn't know it.
Yeah, because he'd be ticked off. That'd give him a break point. And a huge difference now as Escude rolls to a 5-2 lead in the second set.
We're live at Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne, Australia, day 5, the Australian Open. Sort of nice to listen to Chris Fowler, because this is his first year down in Australia, talking about what a paradise is this for tennis fans, and it is. And we warmly welcome him to our coverage here on ESPN and ESPN2. Agassi in action here, and there's a lot more tennis going on around these grounds, and we're going to be bringing you much of it.
15 love.
I mean, you get a bit jaded after all these years of flying down here and watching the Australian Open, but it is a legitimate great Grand Slam.
Such a remarkable event, and the whole country just lives and breathes with it.
It's the largest sporting event in Australia, and they love their sport down here. 30 love Agassi, 2-5, second set. Escude leads, Agassi won the first.
See, Escude's smart here, too. I mean, he's just taking a couple of rips. He's not allowing Agassi to get into a rhythm in Agassi's service games. And when you're up a break, you can afford to do that. Game points for Andre. Wow, really took a rip at that. Almost took off the head of one of the ball kids there. So Escude will serve now with new balls, which should be a help to him as he attempts to close out set number 2. They'll zip through the air, and when it does get hot here, Cliff, on these rebound ace courts, which are made of old tires, the ball speeds up. Jerry Armstrong in the chair. Ball will go more quickly through the air.
Now this is new balls, new racket for Agassi. This is on purpose, right?
Yeah, Agassi is now always so meticulous in his preparation that he changes rackets when the balls get changed, as the tension will vary slightly once you play with the racket. Ivan Lendl made that a regular part of his game plan.
Take a look at this section of the draw here with Agassi. He's the number 2 seed, supposed to be pretty good for him, Patrick.
Well, watch out for Grosjean. I mean, he dominated Lepenti today, another Frenchman in this side. Correa took out Niemanen. He's from Argentina, youngster, so he's through. Costa Mantilla grinding out there, and you can bet they'll be out there a while. In fact, it's a set all and 3 all out on show court 3 between the two Spaniards.
Escude for the set. 15 all. 5-3 leads.
Good first serve and sets up the easy forehand.
Low first serve percentage for Escude so far.
Yeah, it's still low. It's picked up slightly, Cliff, from the first set.
But if he ever needed a few first serves, this would be the moment.
He's got more than double the winners, does Escude, than Andre Agassi so far, 23-11.
That's a good serve. He is a shot maker, isn't he? It's beautiful to watch.
So fluid. I mean, look at the way he just glides into that ball toss, and that fluid movement on the serve and the body going forward allows him to get to net very quickly. I tell you, if you got a big two-handed backhand, you're right-handed, and you can take it up the line, you can give Andre Agassi trouble.
Set points for Escude.
Watch how Agassi opens up that side of the court, his forehand side. Escude goes cross-court, he's got the opening, and that's where Agassi can be exploited at times. Escude, of course, you got to be darn good to be able to exploit Agassi, but if you have that shot in your repertoire, give Agassi some problems.
So it's one set apiece. This is best of 5 sets on a hot, humid day down under in Melbourne, Australia. Andre Agassi, the number 2 seed, USA, in action.
And Nicolas Escude have split sets back to Laver Arena.
30 all here in this game. This is the first game of the third set. It is Andre Agassi serving. He just lost the second set, as you know. In fact, the first set he lost in the tournament. Sorry, Patrick.
Well, what Agassi has to be careful of now, Cliff, is not trying to hit his way out of trouble, because that will be playing right into Escude's hands. So Agassi has to regroup here and be patient, work the point, try to keep Escude moving. You know, one of the problems in those first 2 sets, Cliff, for Agassi was very quick. Only an hour and 11 minutes of play so far. So fatigue shouldn't be a factor.
And Agassi.
You mean for Escude?
Yeah, I mean, Agassi,
Right.
one of his...
He likes to wear him down.
Exactly, try to keep the points long, and he hasn't really been able to do that. Escude with 25 winners, just 11 for Agassi. And just by what you saw happen in those last couple points, Escude is going to keep flailing away on the return, and that's exactly what he should do.
You've got to balance that with the unforced errors, which is 16 for Escude and only 9 for Agassi. So there is some balance in that department, as you say, Patrick. This is the guy who is making things happen here, Escude.
Sure is, and he loves playing here, and we've talked about, of course, his Davis Cup experience. We should also mention, you see the total differential there. Escude +9, also, you know, reaching the semis here back in '98.
Escude said that as a kid he used to watch Edberg play and wanted to be just like him. Give him a few similarities, maybe.
A few, but not
many.
No. He could use a little bit of the Edberg mentality, I'll tell you that. Because if he had a little bit more of that, I believe he'd be hovering around the top 10 pretty consistently, because I think he has the game and the weapons to be there. Mentally, though, he's been a bit fragile, Escude, and especially week in, week out on the tour. But, I mean, look at the shot-making ability. Good kick on that second serve. Gets up high. Doesn't allow Agassi to take the initiative. And then he pounces on this two-hander.
You know, he's a tall guy, Patrick, but he gets around the court pretty well.
117, that last serve on the Porsche radar gun. Doesn't have a huge serve, but he moves it around well. And he can hurt you so many different ways, the Frenchman. I mean, he's slapping that forehand. He has 8 forehand winners. We saw the two-hander. Got some U.S. fans cheering on the veteran.
Escude said that he played soccer long before he played tennis and loved it.
Oh, that's good stuff there. I'll tell you, what defense from Agassi to stay in this point. But look how much Andre Agassi is reacting to what the Frenchman's doing. How often do you see this? Agassi on the move. He's on the run consistently. And this was just a beautiful volley.
Nothing wrong with the attitude today. When you know, if he could have this attitude all the time, then you wouldn't say what you said about him compared to Edberg. Is he is firing.
You know, this is one of those matches when you so often hear Andre Agassi talk after he wins these early round matches, and he steamrolled the last one where he says, you know, I like those matches where I have to raise my level, where I have to find out where my game is. This is one of those matches. He's going to find out really now where his game is because he's being tested.
First service.
The kind of point that Agassi wants to play. 8, 10-ball rallies. Escude with a beautiful two-hander, trying to hit the winner up the line.
Tell you, Escude is explosive of that backhand. Do you see how flat he hits that ball?
He does, and that's one of the reasons why he has so many unforced errors. Is he doesn't have that much margin for error.
Break point, Agassi. The genius of Agassi, a big serve from Escude. I mean, a huge serve from him. And Agassi just gets it back like it's another day at the office.
Exactly right, Cliff. 120-mile-an-hour delivery from Escude, and Agassi just punished it deep and then forced the error from the Frenchman. So Agassi able to raise the level there. Great focus, determination from Agassi, coming out quickly in this third set to regain the momentum. I'll tell you, Agassi has to be a little more aware of being ready off of his serve because Escude is making him pay. Agassi's got to get his antennas up. He did it there, but that great couple of quick steps from Agassi to his left. Watch how quickly Agassi has to move here. It's a good serve. Escude gets it deep. Agassi handles it nicely. These guys are playing some ball here. I mean, every slight error that either player makes is being punished.
Any small opportunity taken. You're watching high quality stuff here, folks.
And And that's a better serve from Agassi to the Escude forehand. That's one he has a little more trouble controlling.
30-all. 2 games to love. Agassi third set, 1 set apiece.
Oh, wow.
Big serve, return about 6 inches from the baseline, half volley, and then whack clean winner.
I mean, you knew Agassi was going to go back to the forehand on the serve, but he does get it back deep. And then just look at this. I mean, just whacks it.
Break point.
Oh, beautifully done again by the Frenchman.
Great deep return of serve, sets up another win. A breaker serve. We're on serve now in the third. A memorable moment for everybody who was there, Patrick.
Sure was. Wayne Arthur serving to Nicolas Escude in decisive 5th match. Escude had beaten Leighton Hewitt on day 1, and with that backhand pass, wins the Davis Cup for France.
That's right on this court, by the way. A grass court laid on top of this rebound A surface. Escude taking out both singles players. Arthur's replacing Patrick Rafter, and on day 1, he took out now the world's #1, Leighton Hewitt. In fact, I think he had just become #1 in the world before that match.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Winning the year-end championships. That year was in Sydney.
Exactly.
This past year in Shanghai. Well, good lesson for you hackers at home. When you high lob comes your way, and if it's fairly short, let it bounce, as Escude did there. Make life easier for you. Oh. Now that is something else on the volley. Good approach, but Agassi had a pretty decent pass. Watch how quickly Escude moves in after the approach. This explosive move right here. He gets in quickly and then gets down low. Oh boy, does he go through. I mean, that's textbook right here.
31 winners from Escude,
wow.
The Frenchman.
Talk about getting down to the ball.
30-15, 1-2.
Agassi able to open the court up there, and that's going to be a key to his success if he can get Escude on the run.
Short break in the shade. Get out of the sun for the moment. It is hot and humid today here in Melbourne. Can get worse, but it is nevertheless tough.
Yeah, another big point on Escude's serve here. 1-2, 30 all. And a second serve for Agassi to deal with. The pressure of the Agassi return there, and it got to Escude, throwing in his fourth double fault.
It's relentless, that pressure. There's no question about it. In the first set, Escude only held serve once. He was broken 3 times, but won the second set. Break point. This is clearly a match that Agassi knows he is going to have to win. Forget the fear factor, forget the tingle factor, because he's #2 in the world and the respect that players have for him and his game. Escude is playing well. Agassi knows it. That message is out there already. Deuce.
Wow. 2 big bombs from the Frenchman. That one at 127 miles an hour. Straight up the middle. Ace number 7, shot spot clearly in. That was Escude's fastest serve of the day.
Use.
But the punisher keeps the pressure on.
Sure does, and continuing to jump on that second serve. That's where Escude struggled. He's only won 43% of those points.
Patrick, when I talk about how Agassi knows he's going to have to win the match, I guess Escude knew that before he ever stepped on the court. He's going to really have to take it to Agassi. As well as Agassi's been playing. This is game point here to get even in the third.
Well, I know what you mean, Cliff. What you mean is that Agassi knows that he's going to have to raise his level. He's going to have to play, if not his best, close to his best,
yes,
to win this. And Escude has sent that message.
Game point.
Oh, monster serving.
9 aces for Escude. Costa and Mantilla in the fourth set.
2-1 Costa, but Mantilla up an early break in the fourth. Sladkova takes out Dominikovic, 3-2. And forget monster, sir. It'd be monstrous with Philippoussis later. He had just a real nice looking win against Paradorn Trisha in 5 in the second round.
15.
And he's decided to calm the rhetoric down, because last year when he was here, he guaranteed his Australian fans a win at Wimbledon.
Sounds
remember?
like Patrick Ewing and the old Knicks. Guaranteeing that the Knicks would win it every year drove us crazy in New York. Stop guaranteeing. Then you're only guaranteeing that we're going to lose now.
15 all, 2 games all, 1 set all. This is live coverage from Rod Laver Arena men's singles. #2 seed Andre Agassi, USA. Nicolas Escude, the Frenchman who's got to the semi-finals here in the past and who likes Australia, not just this court.
And he's got to the quarterfinals of a couple other majors. Wimbledon, at the Open.
Made it.
Well, good things happen when you play aggressively. And Escude again jumping on the second serve. Watch how quickly he gets on top of this ball, and he's tall, so the kick serve doesn't bother him too much. And he deserved that break.
15, 30-second serve. Last time Agassi served, he was broken.
Look out here. There it is, the two-hander. You got to stay away from that two-hander on the second serve because he's got exceptional reach, beautiful timing. Agassi should be hitting a lot more second serves into that forehand side, I think, or into the body.
It's an even proposition on who wins the point if he misses his first serve for Agassi. Escude from the wine country of France, Bordeaux. He's a grape connoisseur. Saves 1 break point. Still 1 left for Escude.
Could have wide serve really works well on this surface because the ball skids. Escude's forehand, as I mentioned, the weaker wing. Well, that's not weak. Oh, man, did he club that return? Well, hitting his head. He knows that he had that set up perfectly. What a reaction from Agassi, though. As he was able to scoop that up off the baseline, that return.
Agassi trying to become only the 4th player to capture 4 men's singles titles in the history of the Australian. 1-2.
Advantage Agassi.
Emerson 3 times. 6, I should say. Jack Crawford 4 times, and Kenny Rosewall. Some famous names among that group.
Again, the defense from Agassi pays off. Tries to send a message now, jogging over to the sideline.
Saved a couple of big ones there. Agassi leading 3-2 and on serve in the 3rd set. Coverage from the Rod Laver Arena, day 5 of the Australian Open Tennis Championships, the first Grand Slam of the year. Thank you for joining us. I'm Cliff Drysdale, Patrick McEnroe, calling this match, which features Andre Agassi, the #2 player in the world. There's an excitement, there's a buzz, there's always something special in the air when Agassi plays. That's just the way it is. And is he struggling? Can I say that, Patrick?
I don't think he, well,
No.
he's struggling because of the way his opponent's playing. He's hitting the ball fine. He's playing well. Escude, though, is playing about as well as he can play.
3-2 Agassi, 3rd set. Overrule there.
Jerry Armstrong in the chair, quickly overruling that. That was real close. Let's see it. Looks to be good. Yep. Good job by the chair. Right on the line.
I would love to see a player have 2 shot spot queries in a set a la football. Andre Agassi with career slams, he's one of 5 ever that has won all 4.
And by far his best record percentage-wise right here at the Australian Open. 34-3. Amazing. He's lost, was it 15 matches at the U.S. Open? So he's won it twice. So he's played 17 Opens. Gonna be real careful if you don't get the ball out of Escude's strike zone. And this one, when it's low, right around the hip, boy, does he handle it well. The high ball, I believe, gives him a little more trouble. I like to see Agassi put a little more spin on some of those ground strokes. Oh, nicely done there with the dipper.
15-30 at 2-3.
Here comes the dipper right here from Agassi. Didn't go for the winner, got it down low, forced the half volley. And then pick your spot and rip it.
You watching live coverage, Rod Laver Arena. We're at Melbourne Park in Melbourne, Australia. Everyone, Cliff Drysdale here, Patrick McEnroe alongside. It's Andre Agassi of the USA, the number 2 seed, day 5 of the Australian, as he takes on Nicolas Escude, the Frenchman, who had a huge triumph here, not this December, but last December in the Davis Cup final, when he helped France to win the Davis Cup against Australia on a grass court here in Rod Laver Arena. We're in the third set, 3-2 on serve, 30-all. Agassi leading. This is Escude serving.
Good sneaky second serve and volley play there from Escude, as Agassi was not expecting that. He just sort of rolled that return back, and there was Escude with a solid, crisp backhand volley. So he's thinking out there, the Frenchman. Oh, that is just scary.
Deuce. It may not be heavy in poundage, either one of these two guys, because they're both in really special shape, but this is a battle of heavyweights in the tennis business, folks. Well, that's genuine, too. Well played.
Escude comes right back.
And Escude.
It's a strong delivery out wide.
Nicolas Escude holds on. So they have both struggled.
Well, boy, do we have us a match here. This is phenomenal stuff. Set all. Both players forcing each other to come up with better and better stuff.
You know, they talk, Patrick, about raising the bar, you know, like the Williams sisters have raised the bar. And you can raise the bar within a match sometimes, too, can't you?
No question. And as I said, that's something that Agassi always talks about in his press conferences.
15.
Knowing that he has to raise his level. Is it there? He's going to find out before this match is over if it is there. Look out here for Agassi at 15-30. Oh, man, is that big.
Serious firepower on that side, and again, he's got break points.
It's like a basketball player getting in the zone, just feeling it. Escude just lined that up.
That thing is as flat as a pancake, too. It is so tough to read. Agassi down another break point, saves one more to come, 30-40, 3 games all, third set. as I remember it, Patrick, the one break was fatal in the second set. That's all there was, right?
Yep. 2 good first serves from Agassi to the Escude forehand.
Deuce.
Oh, he missed it.
Third break point of this game.
Feeling the pressure a little bit. Agassi had a good look at that forehand. Tried to hit it a little too flat.
That is a good serve from Agassi on the line.
Yes.
I mean, to be this close on this bigger point, there it is, right through the edge of the line.
Especially, Cliff, when you know you're going to your opponent's better side.
Oh, that one clips the tape and goes over Agassi's racket. I'm sorry, says Escude, but he's got a 4th break point.
Advantage Escude.
Agassi is just not that comfortable at net. He doesn't do enough with that volley. He gives Escude a look at it. Gets burned.
What's that? Three break points, or 12 chances now. So he has had so many chances.
Twice as many as Agassi,
Yeah.
Cliff, who's 4 for 6 on his opportunities.
Deuce. Look at that. It's wide.
Though. Just missed it.
Advantage Agassi.
Tell you.
Agassi just reacting now and trying to keep as many balls in play as he can, because he's on just getting a barrage here. Normally he's the one with all the ammo.
Yep.
There's another one. I tell you, he doesn't back off an inch, does he, Escude? Even after he makes a couple of errors, he just kind of keeps coming back. He knows his game plan, and he's sticking with it.
This is zonal play. We're talking 2 guys in the zone. This return to serve couldn't have been better. And Agassi, one-handed defense, clean winner on the pass. Look.
So much work from Agassi on his defensive abilities, and he's talked about this as trying to learn from a guy named Leighton Hewitt, who does it better than anyone in the business, and got that out of the Hewitt book right there.
Every game, a titanic struggle. 4-3. Agassi, we're on service 3 here. Agassi leads. It is Escude serving, love 15. Each game here, a battle.
Good stretch return there from Agassi, as Escude now facing some big points on his serve. Agassi able to fight off break points in the previous service game. Set apiece, 3-4, love 30. Just a first real loose-looking swing. Off the ground from Escude. Not real good footwork there, and a terrible miss hit.
Called Punisher pressure.
Yep.
Break points for Agassi. Really the big statistic here has been how many chances to break Escude has had here in the third set without converting. Tough to imagine Agassi not winning one of the next three. Escude saves one.
Well, they both broken once in this set, Cliff, earlier in the set, but it's Escude who's had 7 opportunities. Agassi just 3 in this third set. Here comes the fourth. And that's saved with a big first serve.
30-40.
Now you can begin to imagine. Agassi also had his chances to break, but he's at 50%. Broken 4 times, 8 chances. This is his 9th.
He's got it. Beautifully done by Agassi. And Darren Cahill, his coach, can breathe just a touch easier.
Agassi leads 5 games to 3.
Both walking to the sideline like this is a change of ends.
They're both going to change rackets because it's time for new balls, Cliff. And Agassi going to a freshly strung stick.
Escude doing the same
water.
thing.
Yep. Updating the Vodafone. Centoro up 2-1, so they're back on serve.
You didn't expect that from the magician, did you?
No, well, it's a good start here from Marty Fish, up 4-1 over the veteran from South Africa, Wayne Ferrer. As Jim Courier so rightly pointed out, this is really a big test for Fish to come back after that big win over Moya and see if he can win a match that really he should win. Mantilla up 5-1 now, trying to take that match to a 5th set against Albert Costa. Whoa!
That's like a rifle shot return that from Escude, and he makes it look so easy. Look at this.
Well, it's feast or famine, really, for Escude on the forehand wing on the return. I mean, he just goes for it. He makes a lot of errors. Once in a while, he connects with the winner. But Agassi, I think, will continue to go there.
Agassi's sense of the way to play points now is so much better than it used to be. It's close to genius now. This boy, Agassi, at 32 years of age, has learnt his tennis lessons so well. $15-30 serving for the third set.
That's a little, you look at that and you say, oh, a double fault, how could he do that? But inside between the lines, as you see the shot spot, good call, just long. He's trying to stay away from the backhand of Escude. And for a righty to serve the second serve out wide is more difficult in the deuce court. It's not as safe a serve. Trying to get to the Escude weaker side.
That return of Escude is off the forehand side, clipped the tape.
15-14.
Interrupts the flight of the ball somewhat. Agassi mishits it, and now Escude can get right back on serve here in the third. Break points. 13th break point for Escude.
Just missing long on that return. Good first serve. Agassi that time going up the middle, which he's rarely done in the Deuce court, the shot spot.
Yeah, clearly long. Worth a check, though. Still break point, second serve. That is amazing. I mean, that half volley that he hits, I know he's done it 100,000 times and that you've seen just about every one of them, Patrick, but every time he does it, I still say, you're not supposed to be able to do that.
It's remarkable. There's no one in the business that can pick up shots right on top of the baseline like that, the way Agassi can.
Deuce.
He does it again, but that time Escude didn't move forward right away, let it bounce. Again, you got to be real careful. That second serve is just not good enough. Escude pounces on it with the double hander. One of 9 on break points in set number 3 for Escude. Make that 1 of 10.
Big second serve.
Good depth on that one. It's got to be becoming a little bit mental now for Escude on those break points.
That's 102 mile-an-hour second serve on that Porsche radar gun.
Yeah, but it was the depth that did it, not the speed. Oh, boy. Whoa. I'll tell you, he can hit that two-hander either direction. I have not seen Andre Agassi on his heels so consistently in a match for a long time against someone that plays a baseline type of game. Escude comes in, but not all the time.
Another second serve break point. Could not agree with you more on that one. It's like, as you were saying earlier, Patrick, he's always the one calling the shots in a match, but not today here in Australia. You're watching live coverage here. Center court called Rod Laver Arena. Cliff Drysdale, Patrick McEnroe. This is third set action, 5-3 Agassi. Every game, a huge mountain to climb for both of these guys. Deuce. And another break point chance. This is the 17th, 1-7 for the match.
Break points in the match, and that was only Agassi's 5th unforced error of this set. I'll tell you though, one of the parts of Agassi's game that a lot of people don't realize how good it is the serve, and the serve has gotten him out of trouble in this game. Not big aces, but good deep second serves, mixing it up. Got a lot of confidence in that second serve, does Agassi. But that one's too short, though. Too short on that one.
Break point again.
He's pressing now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he pressed on that one. He didn't need to go for a winner there.
It's like he's afraid to go for the real finishing touch to these games. He gets there, but he just cannot take that final step, Escude. That was a really poor shot. There haven't been many of them. Deuce.
Finally, Agassi fights his way to set point.
Oh,
Oh, he tries something different, Agassi. Serve and volley. Trying to change it up, and Escude just bunts it for a winner. Watch this return from Escude. One step and just guides it up the line.
deuce.
Yeah, that's where Andre's a little more comfortable. Hit that wide serve, stay back.
And on to Agassi.
And hope that Escude doesn't hit the ball within 6 inches of the baseline,
Yeah.
which he's been doing a lot of.
Guarantee you he's not going to serve volley again here.
Set point. Do you remember how many of those matches there were more unforced errors than there were winners for the first 2 days? Hello, those days are gone. This is great stuff now. Very high quality tennis. 2-1 Agassi. Whatever, thank you. You too, and here on this stadium court, Rod Laver Arena, 30 to Escude, 30-love in the first game of the fourth. Agassi leading by 2-1.
Well, now Cliff Agassi will really try to extend the points, get into some rallies here, and let Escude know how long a road he has to get back and win this match. 2 more sets, but Escude, who's played really about as well as he could play, Cliff, and he's down 2-1. I mean, his game plan has been clear. Keep the points short, go for winners. He's made a lot of winners, but in doing so, a lot of unforced errors. Exquisite touch there.
No sign of fatigue from either one, actually.
No, it's been a pretty quick match. The points haven't been that long, just over 2 hours of play.
Should mention in the Vodafone Arena, Fabrice Santoro took the first set against the number 4 seed, Juan Carlos Ferrero, 6-4. Second set, they are on serve. He had the early break, but they are on serve. They're now 3 games all.
Oh, wow. So explosive, Escude.
First game, full set.
Andre Agassi's focus is so good now, and he knows exactly what he needs to do. But boy, I mean, you look at the score line, you think, oh, 6-2, 3-6, 6-3, the match differential. Escude with a lot more winners and unforced. But that's the Agassi of, the new Agassi, the new and improved Agassi. And not that new anymore. It's been that way for about 4 years now. But he doesn't go for a lot of winners. He plays with consistency, with focus, letting his opponents make more errors. And the way to do that is he's got to be incredibly fit, which he is. He's got to defend incredibly well, which as we've seen him do in this match, he's improved upon. It's just much more workmanlike in his approach, point in, point out.
It's interesting to hear you describe the way he plays now. Tactically and emotionally, and how different it used to be when he first came out.
He still has this. Look where Agassi is. He's right on top of the baseline, hitting a passing shot, and the guy's jumping on his second serve. He hugs that baseline, and he has to be so explosive with his movement side to side. tell you what, Cliff, I remember having a conversation with Agassi about, say, 5, even 6 years ago, when he was in one of those down times in his career. Wow.
You're watching live coverage, Rod Laver Arena, everybody. It's the number 2 seed in the championship from the USA. Andre Agassi in action against Nicolas Escude. They have played so far no less than a brilliant match. Agassi leading by 2 sets to 1. Great third set. Escude's got 1 game. This is Escude with a breaker serve here against Agassi. That was his 19th break, and he's only broken 3 times.
That's the biggest number of the match. But anyway, back to that story. When I was talking to Andre, he was in one of those down times in his career, and he said, boy, he said, you know, these guys coming up, they really hit hard, don't they? It was sort of, it was a serious conversation. Oh, beautiful stretch there from Agassi. And I think he realized at that time, Cliff, that he was going to have to change his game slightly, that he couldn't rely on blowing players away because players could do that to him. And what did he do? Well, he got himself in incredible condition. He improved his volleying there. He changed his work ethic.
Is he really in better shape than most of the players on the tour? At 32 years old?
He definitely is, but he also doesn't have to cover as much ground because of the way he hits the ball. A year-end rank. That was probably my conversation with him. Must have been right around the 97 when he finished 122.
Well, he's had a roller coaster night ever since he started. I mean, the earlier days it was even more so, but he's been very consistent these last few years.
Well, 15 love.
And of course, Brad Gilbert, who coached Agassi through so much of that period, deserves so much of the credit for really reshaping Agassi's mindset out there. As a serve profile, the first serve percentage is still way too low.
I want to go back to something you said earlier for those who've just joined us, and that is that Nicolas Escude is a huge talent as a tennis player. He's the number 24 seed here. Make that 29 seed, Escude, but he has really not lived up to this great, tremendous potential that you see from him.
Let's first service.
26 years old.
He wins his, his odd tournament here and there. Cliff, he won in Rotterdam last year where he beat Tim Henman in the final. Usually does real well in the indoor European tournaments where it's pretty fast conditions. You can use that serve volley game, that explosive game. But it's just shots like that, just going for shots a little bit too often. And as I've said, that is probably part of his game plan against Agassi, but I've seen him play that type of tennis against players where he didn't have to play that way.
He's a semi-finalist here. Escude was in '98. The last 8 at Wimbledon in '01.
Let first service.
Escude had problems with his stomach muscle after the first round loss at Roland Garros at the French Championship. Played a couple of grass court events, but then laid out for 3 months.
Yeah, he missed the U.S. Open last year, Cliff.
Yes. Started back in the indoor season.
Yeah, Agassi, Cliff, is in phenomenal shape, but just to finish up on your question to me earlier, is he in better shape than a lot of, well, he's in as good a shape as anyone, and he makes players work generally a lot harder than he has to because of his ability to take the ball early, to control the point, really control the center of the court with his ground game.
One game all, gain point Escude, fourth set. Deuce coming up. Well, you used to talk about practicing with him, and I would relate it to practicing with Jimmy Connors.
Yep.
More like my era. You get a serious workout.
Oh, yeah. I mean, an hour and a half practice with Agassi is like a 3-hour workout with other.
We're live in Melbourne, Australia. It's a beautiful sight, that isn't it? This is a spectacular skyline of downtown Melbourne, and we are in Melbourne Park, which is a walk away, literally about a 10-minute walk away from those buildings that you've taken a look at there. 2-1 here to Escude. We're on serve in the fourth set, 2-1. And Ferrero now 4 points away from leveling with Santoro, and Marty Fish, USA, 2-1 up in the second.
Mantilla up a break in the fifth over Costa, French Open champ, in trouble.
Mary Jo Fernandez, Dan Fry was sitting here hanging on every word from Patrick, as they usually do.
Yeah,
we're
right.
talking about Connors and Agassi and practicing with them, and they said, well, you should have gone out there with Steffi Graf.
Yep.
Hello.
She was very intense with her workouts as well. Guess that's where her and Andre get along so well. Escude slap happy again. Rips the forehand winner.
Set to Ferrero.
He's down a break early in that second set, so good comeback from Juan Carlos. That doesn't go down as a winner, but it should. I mean, that's as good as a winner right there from Agassi, just flattening that ball out. It's another reason why sometimes the numbers are a little misleading with Agassi. Hits a lot of balls just like that, deep, that his opponent gets his racket on. But in a lot of ways, an overrule there from the chair umpire. Shot spot says, shaky call. Just wide.
That was clearly inside the line. Escude wins the point, and he's got more chances to break Agassi. This is his 20th. Make that 2-0. 20th chance.
He's a little upset at some of the calls he's getting, but this one was well inside the line.
Escude finally does break. In front in the fourth, 3-1. Agassi 2-1.
Escude leads 3-1.
Pretty impressive numbers in the winner department. Escude, the glaring one, is the 4 of 20 on break points. First serve percentage.
Well, 15.
Volley stays low, but Agassi just takes one big step, able to control it up the line.
The last two slams that Agassi has won were right here in Australia. He played the US Open final last year, of course, against Pete Sampras in a big win for Sampras.
Don't see too many of those from Agassi. Second serve, miss hitting the return, or sort of pushing at it. Escude has managed to regain the momentum just as Agassi did in the early stages of set number 3.
Well, how different would set number 3 have been if the Frenchman had been able to convert a few of those numerous break points that he had. Escude was 1 break of 11 chances in set 3.
30-15.
Oh, yeah. He just hung back, took his time, and had a good look at that pass.
Well, the hard work was done earlier in the point, Cliff.
30-all.
This next one right here was a tough one for Agassi. Gets it back, scraps it, then this one he's in plenty. He's got plenty of time to line this one up, but the hard work came the previous shot.
Almost see him saying to himself, thank you for coming in. I see the hole. And he plugged it. $30-all.
He's thinking out there, the Frenchman is using his noggin. Second serve, gets it away from Agassi and sneaks in.
He has every shot, doesn't he?
Yep.
Game point, Escude.
Yeah, Cliff, it's one thing to use your noggin and try different things. Another thing to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be able to hit that good of a second serve and have the confidence to come in against Agassi.
Deuce.
See, just that mixing it up as he did in the last point of the deuce side, sort of got Agassi rattled a little bit. That time Agassi overhitting, it looked like he was expecting Escude to come in behind that second serve. So Agassi's guessing a little bit. He's unnerved.
You know, we were talking earlier, Patrick, about how you have to raise your level of play according to the way that your opponent is playing. They've been at a pretty high level for a long time now, because that realization hit these guys over an hour ago.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's one more level to be raised, and if either player can make that final push.
Deuce.
Agassi was walking. He was walking to the other side. Jerry Armstrong. And it was wide, actually. Good call. Shows you that the players can be wrong as well. Agassi thought it was an ace. That time, some good defense from the Frenchman. Agassi pounced on the second serve, but yeah, that's how you feel when you know you've defended well and clawed your way back and won a point.
Escude is coached by Arnaud Casagrande since early '99. You know what? It's nice to see a little serve and volley attempt every so often because it changes things up. But against either one of these returners, it's very dangerous. We used to say that Agassi picks the ball up quicker than anybody in his earlier days. That's still true, Patrick?
Yes, still true. It's extremely bright here on a day like this, and not sure exactly where the sun is from where we are in our booth. It's hard to see, but Agassi just very smart there, throwing the ball up.
No, the sun's behind him. That wasn't the problem. I just amazing that he missed that. And this is a break point for Agassi to get back on serve. Slight mishit on the return. Escude lumbering in because he had to, not because he wanted to. He draws the error. We're back on serve in the fourth. We are live down under in the Australian Open in Melbourne. This is Melbourne Park, everyone. Cliff Drysdale and Patrick McEnroe. I guess it's redundant to say that I'm glad you're here, because if you've been watching this match, it has been mesmerizing stuff. In case you drop off, you might want to flip on the VCR so that you can check it in the morning, because this is going to continue to be great stuff. That's a guarantee. Agassi leading by 2-1. He's just broken back. Escude leads 3-2, but Agassi's going to serve. He has a weather update. That's 89 degrees outside, and there is a formula which has not been put in place, which includes humidity and a bunch of other stuff, where they could not stop this match, but they would curtail other matches. There was some talk about that. Has not happened.
Called the heat index. Yeah, once they start a match, that match will be completed. Even if the heat index reaches that level, which is 28. Temperature has to exceed 95 degrees Fahrenheit. At the moment, just 89, which is 27.8 on the index.
Where it's been for most of this match. Just to clarify, a match once it's started, they don't mess with it. They just wouldn't put another match on if the heat index got up there.
Or they'd close the roof on what they could do on two courts here, the Laver Arena and the Vodafone. Haven't used the roof at all yet this year, Cliff. No rain. And today's really, it was pretty hot the first day, Monday, but very cool and comfortable the next 3 days. And then today it's heated back up again, supposed to cool down again tomorrow.
Yeah, if you don't like the weather here, wait a minute.
40-15.
He served well in this match, Agassi. That's only his third double fault of the match, and he's right at 70% first serve percentage. There you see it, 61% winning those points, which isn't a real high number. But he's won the important points often. It's Escude who's had so many opportunities to break. That time he didn't. Agassi holds to even at 3 apiece.
Talking about Andre Agassi and how relatively well-rounded he is. I mean, he is by any definition a very well-rounded person. Now he does a huge amount for charity in that event that people say, I've never been there. They say it's the best party of the year out in Las Vegas that he puts in with all of his showbiz buddies.
For the Andre Agassi Foundation, and he's opened an elementary school with his name on it.
And he is a proud and good dad by any account.
Andre talking to himself, saying it's a bad shot. Doesn't like making those errors. He knows now this is where he can put Escude away if he can up his level slightly here. Fight off there by Escude off an Agassi blast. Hit the baseline.
It's closing in on 5 p.m. Friday afternoon here in Australia. There are 15,000 people in here, and I challenge our cameraman to find an empty seat here. It's hot, but this place is just jammed. They're being treated to some superior quality tennis here. 3 games all, now 40 love for Escude, 2 sets to 1 for Agassi. Players change hands. 4-3. Agassi will serve and we come back live to Rod Laver Arena. This is day 5 of the first slam of the year. Welcome to Melbourne. Match. Thanks, Chris. You're watching live coverage here from Rod Laver Arena, Day 5, the Australian Open. Cliff Drysdale here, Patrick McEnroe alongside Nicolas Escude, the number 29 seed, taking on Andre Agassi, the number 2 seed in the championship, the co-favorite with Leighton Hewitt. This game is 30-15, 4-3 Escude, 2 sets to 1 Agassi. You're happy about what they were going on about downstairs, Patrick, aren't
Marty
you?
Fish looking very good. He's got a set point now to try to get up 2 sets to love.
I got to hand it to you, Captain. You said he was going to play well at this Open before it started. Not just a pretty face. Agassi holds on. It is even at 4 apiece.
I like the way Agassi served there. He spun a kick serve out wide. He slid that one wide in the deuce court. Opening up the court a little bit more for Agassi would be real helpful to him. The winner's 58 for Escude. The differential, he's plus 17. Agassi at plus 2. See, that to me, I mean, that tells me a lot about Escude. The winners for Agassi it's underwhelming stat because it's really way off in a sense that Agassi beats you so much from the ground with just his depth and the fact that he's moving you so much. So it looks like he's not dictating play in a lot of rallies, but really he is. I'll tell you, after over 2.5 hours at 4-all in the 4th, and this type of stuff still being played, look how low he gets to that one. Beautiful volley. And he's got the sitter into the open court. This has just been such a well-played match on both sides.
Marty Fish has won the second set.
Wasn't that much insight, by the way, Cliff. And Marty Fish did beat Moya last week in Sydney. He came through the qualifying, and he's been working real hard, and he played well at the end of last year in some challengers. So I sensed that there was some real improvement there. He's got one set to go to get through to his first round of 16 in a major.
I thought I'd hear that self-effacing European stuff from you, Patrick. There's one thing to do well in challenges, another thing to win 3 singles matches at a slam, and he's on his way. And I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but I would be very surprised not to see him in the first round of the Davis Cup for the USA. 40 love Escude.
You know something I don't know, Cliff?
I've been talking to this US Davis Cup. 40-15 at 4 games all. 4th set, 2 sets to 1 Agassi.
Escude with his 5th double of the match.
Australian.
Santoro coming back in the 3rd set now, up 4-2 over Ferrero.
Agassi's most successful slam percentage-wise is the Australian Open. He's won it 3 times. This is his 7th shot at it. Last year he was injured, wrist injury, the day before it started. Exhibition match that he played against Pete Sampras here at Kooyong. Still game point for Escude. Look out, Escude at 4 games all. He's down 2 sets to 1. He's lost 3 straight points.
Well, he got a little sloppy, Cliff, with a double fault and then a couple of weak second serves. And Agassi perfectly content to munch on that second and set himself up for the forehand.
Oh! Agassi smelling his chance, sensing it, making no mistake on a tremendous pass right here, and he's got a break point.
Well, so often, Cliff, in a match like this, one hiccup, one loss of concentration can cost you the match. And that may be what happens when it's all said and done and written about Nicolas Escude, not to mention this, break points. But he was up 40 love, and he lost his focus.
That may be all she wrote as Escude loses 5 points in a row. Agassi gets the break. He'll serve for the match when we come back live. This is live at the Australian Open, everyone. Cliff Drysdale and Patrick McEnroe. This is Nicolas Escude, the 29 seed Frenchman, as he's taken on Andre Agassi here. 5 games to 4. Agassi now 2 set to 1 lead. So many chances for Escude in the 3rd set after he'd won the 2nd. 11 chances to break. Only 1 was he able to convert. Here's who's waiting for him, Patrick.
Guillermo Correa from Argentina, a youngster who's a good baseliner, but doesn't really have the weapons to hurt Agassi. Escude's got some major weapons, and he's used them to hit 59 winners in this match. But Agassi, consistency. It's taken its toll on Escude. Now 3 points from the 4th round is Andre. Close call there. It looked good from up here.
Escude is not happy about it. 30 love. Agassi's 2 points away. Tell you what, my hat is off to Andre Agassi for today's performance. It's not over yet. Still 2 points away. But the way he came back in that 3rd set, the way he had to struggle, and the way he struggled here in the 4th. He's got character, I'll tell you that.
And he has really had to struggle, Cliff, on so many service games. He has just been like a bull.
Match points for Agassi.
Escude continuing to fire.
Tell you what, you have just seen something that really has, it had the drama, the excitement, it had Agassi, it had shot making, it was close. I don't know what else to say, Patrick. I just enjoyed every second of it.
And so did Agassi, because for him, Cliff, the tournament just started. I mean, he had to really raise his level. That last point was just showed it all from Agassi. Defending and then ripping the forehand winner. Killer Cahill, his coach. Boys, you have to be pleased with that effort. Escude came out with all of his guns blazing, and it just wasn't enough. The Pacific Life between the lines. You know, Escude, as we talked about him being a shot maker, hitting a lot of winners, but Agassi counter-punching so well. Passing Escude, playing that solid, consistent game from the back of the court, not going for too many clean winners. And the break points were key in this one. Escude had so many chances. Agassi able to play those big points well. 27 forehand total winners, excuse me. So Agassi moves on to week number 2.
If Correa does not have the shots to beat Agassi, does a guy like Grosjean?
Yeah, Grosjean's going to be very dangerous for Agassi. I expect Grosjean to beat Mantilla, and that one will be something else.
Live down under in Melbourne, Andre Agassi, a winner. A lot more going on with that when we come back.